Okay.
I got no
We
deals,
good with
man.
that?
I'm playing lands and passing turn. Like, you can
Well,
do
that's the
whatever
thing.
you
It's
want.
entirely well.
The deflection, but I digress. The deflection from Azzy. I'm just trying to play lands, man. What's up, y'all? It's TTC, aka the ThunderConductor, and welcome to TTM with TTC. If you're not familiar, TTM is the Table Talk Masterclass, where I perform political reviews of EDH and cEDH games. But with that said, let's get straight to the gameplay. All right, so let's get some context in here. So seat 1, we have a Bralin and Shabraz. Seat 2, we have a Tiamat. Seat 3 is a Sisay Weatherlight Captain. And seat 4 is a Wandering Minstrel. Some context for where we're at in the game, a little bit more, is we currently have going from player 2's turn to player 3's turn. Player 3 is about to untap. And also notably, player 1 just attempted to present a win with a curiosity effect plus Bralin. Press a discard effect on board. So here we can see here's a curiosity effect. Bralin notably did get phased out because player 4 was able to use his land tutor to put it straight. A Talon gets a Madara straight onto the board, fizzling this targeting of curiosity and thus stopping them from winning on the turn. They have 2 cards left and a Heuristic Study on board. So it's at this point that it's known because of the Heuristic Study on board plus their Wild Researcher that they're going to be able to present another win attempt on their next turn. So we move into Sisay's turn, where Sisay has a sorcery speed point of interaction, but at this point, they're also aware that Wandering Minstrel is a Turbo Adnons deck with 7 cards in hand, and notably have a land tutor that they can possibly do some action. So let's see what happens. Ragavan, Rite of Flame, untap me, Malfunction, and the Mox Diamond. And I'll pass.
Upkeep. I'll play a Command Tower land for turn.
I like that card. Pretty decent.
I heard it's pretty good.
Pretty cool art too.
You got some light touches, people kind of filling out the floor, whatever not.
Which is scarier, the Minstrel or the Tireless Tribe?
Probably the Tireless Tribe.
No,
Why?
No.
What are you looking for, Emo?
It's his discard outlet, and he can tutor another curiosity effect on his turn.
All right, so I got to pause it right here because this is actually really well done by Azzy, playing on the Wandering Minstrel. So Emo starts off by saying, what's scarier, the Wandering Minstrel, the discard outlet? Crazy jumps in by saying no. I'm kind of like, I don't got really a bone in any of this, but I'm curious because when I hear Azzy talking, I'm like, what is he trying to politic to not get his commander taken? I already know the power of the Wandering Minstrel, but what I love notably about what Azzy does here is he leads with logic. He's literally saying it's the discard outlet. It's another combo neighbor with the board. Eventually, we can bring up the fact that we have the researcher on board, this tutor right here. So it's clear as day that the man got options. So it's really important at this point that as he leads with logic and not emotion, allowing him to secure a really good start in this political place. But let's keep it going. Well, that's
I could, but I only have 2 in hand.
We know he has a brass in hand. He can't cast Ad Nauseum right now. What are you thinking about doing, Emo? Talk to me.
It sounds like a removal spell.
At sorcery speed's the question.
Little known card called Deadpool.
Oh,
That's great.
And the removal has been revealed and is a Deadpool. All right, sorcery speed, super powerful. He can either shut down Wandering Minstrel or he can completely shut down Crazy's combo attempt. So let's see what he decides. Then Azzy's point is the best, unless Crazy knows something we don't know about. The Deadpool on the discard outlet is going to be the best thing. Yeah, you want to be able to stop Winster, but you're already stopping their Adnons with the Lavinia.
I will say, with 2 cards in hand, 3 whenever I draw for turn, that's not really a gamble I want to take, because I'm only on 2 curiosity effects, and you know where one of them is.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I think in addition that you have a heuristic study, so the whole I only have this many cards in my hand is going to be eventually null and void. So I think taking the discard outlet on his board is going to be actually a good idea. All right, so we got to pause here. So if we put everything together right now, TTC took in all the information. That's me. I take in information. I have no stakes in this. He's not touching my creatures. I'm not casting the spell. But why am I speaking? 2 reasons. First of all, I don't want to lose the game. If you look here, I cut this out. If you look here, it's not shown, but there's a Lavinia right here. Boom, boom, boom. I've intentionally decided to tap out, and I said it is on Emo. I said this to him. You put down the Lavinia. I'm putting it on you to control the table. I'm going to tap out, and if you have a way to remove your Lavinia, cool. But if not, I'm not going to play control because I'm playing a Turbo 5 color dragon deck. So I'm this point right now where I can't use the resources in my hand. I believe I have a Force Will in my hand and also Red Elemental Blast. I decided to tap out because I want to be able to keep my Mana Vault up because I wanted to be able to progress some action on my turn 4, possibly attempt to pressure win, and I did not want to tap it. So because I was out of with physical interaction, I wanted to make sure what is the highest likely chance for me to be able to untap. And when looking at the board state, once I realized that Azzy was making such good points, I'm like, I need to make sure this play goes through. Okay, so I need to advocate both for Azzy and advocate both for Emo so that Crazy doesn't politic Emo out of doing which looks like the objective play, which is you already got the heuristic study on board. You're already doing a lot. You want to advocate. So with all these factors going on, I'm thinking in my head, I want to make sure that the cleanest plays happen, that everyone uses their interaction just right. Cause I'm hoping on prayers to be able to untap again. So that's my entire mindset at this point. And so that's number one. I tapped out intentionally knowing I would be F6, but I verbally said to Emo, it is on you to control the player because you have the Lavinia. Lavinia Azorius Renegade, you are locking down the table, and I'm not playing responsible player because you locking down the table. So with that, then comes in part 2. A lot of people will say, well, I've had people ask, well, should I be talking if it has nothing to do with me? And I encourage people, yes, I think you should be talking. Now, be cognizant of not over talking, but be aware that at the end of the day, especially in this instance, as we continue the video, you'll see that Emo is kind of like he's not taking use of the full political situation. However, with my help, he's able to take use of this political situation and create a great deal with Crazy where he's able to now progress his board state. So let's get to that.
I wish I could. Let me see. I mean, I can promise not to use it. I just don't want the. I don't want the interaction to be used on me right now. That's a thing.
So then you can
That's where you get it with the I have a secondary discard outlet in hand.
I can promise you I am only on 1 discard outlet. The only other, there are a few other in my other colors, but Ghostly Pilfer, not in the list.
Okay.
That's the only other really viable one.
Well, what you could do, Crazy, is offer him a deal of how many turns you won't activate it at all for any reasons, to give him incentive to take the minstrel. But you got to give Emo a good deal, because right now, as he made a great point about you just being able to retutor it next turn. So unless you were to make a deal I'll go 2 turns, no activations of my Tireless Tribe, there's no reason for him to target the Wandering Minstrel. Feel what I'm saying?
Could I caveat that with no, I'm going to try to phrase this correctly, no activating it for a win, reason being, I'm just going to flip this up. This is Brawlin damage on a stick, and it has been relevant before being able to just deal a damage to someone if they're low life total.
I think the caveat should be is you have to ask permission from Emo, but I'll let the final decision be from Emo. You have to give him a guarantee to if Emo wants to do this deal, you have to give Emo 2 turn rotations, starting from now entire rotation back to his turn, entire rotation back to his turn. Then after that, when you get into Azzy's turn, you are free to do what you want. But if there's a situation where you want to activate it to do damage to people with your Brawlin plus that, you need you can ask Emo permission. How does that sound, Emo?
Sounds pretty reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
Just no discard outlet for a win con.
No. Make sure you cap. No. You can't just say not for a win con, because you got to say the specifically for two turns, and then also on top of that for what's it called? Him asking permission, because there may be other conditions that we're not aware about where he may want to discard a card. You know what I'm saying? So we want to give him it really is to give you 2 turns in case you don't have an answer, because you're using a sorcery speed answer and giving him a card. I don't know if you plan on tapping out, but you're giving him a sorcery speed answer for that. So it's best to give yourself 2 turns to draw into it, because you have heuristic, plus having him have to ask permission to use it for damage value. Feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'd be willing to make that deal. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I got no
We
deals,
good with
man.
that?
I'm playing lands and passing turns. Like, you can
Well,
do
that's the
whatever
thing.
you
It's
want.
entirely
The deflection, but I digress. The deflection from Azzy. I'm just trying to play lands, man. But I digress. Keep it going.
well. You've also got your Reclaimer out, which
I can't do
that-
anything because of Lavinia. Because this is just swapping one land out.
But you have another when it's already
lands
been
are very
email.
hard to interact with.
Emo is allowed to make the decision what he would like to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the deal that I kind of orchestrated for you, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, no, what I'm saying what you said.
Okay. So just to be clear, do you agree to that? No
agree to that.
activations until one full rotation, and then
Another
after
one,
that,
yep.
when it gets to Azzy's turn, then you're free to activate it. And then if you want to activate it before, then you just have to ask Emo for permission.
I'm 100% willing to make that deal.
Sounds good. All right, it's on you, Emo. What y'all didn't know is my name is not just TTC, it's Emo's lawyer.
I think you'd be pretty good in law, honestly, with the way you politic.
Like when I'm hearing like, oh shit, I don't have removal, so shit. Like, how can I help Emo use his removal the best? Fuck.
I will take 2 damage, go to 33 if I'm on the right tab.
That isn't dead colors.
All right, so before we go into this very last part, one thing I really want to hit on is keeping things fun, keeping things light. I was able to pop the joke at the end because, like, I'd be a liar if I didn't recognize that, hey, TDC, you're doing a lot of talking, and this deal has nothing to do with you. But as we could see, if we saw back in that moment earlier, Emo was getting ready to say, yeah, just no activating for win cons, but we're still in the breach deck. What if he draws a bunch of cards and he discards cards to breach? This gives you 2 turns of buffering for that. There is also a plethora of other things that we don't know because notably Crazy Axe is running a very unique version of Brawlin' Shabazz where there are things that we may not be aware about that he can do. And by locking that card off, we're eventually going to see it, but he's going to progress his own, Emo's going to progress his own game plan while also making sure that Crazy Axe doesn't do the same win attempt on his turn 4 or turn 5, allowing us more likely to get to our turn 6 more cleanly. And that was really something awesome. So I'm really happy that I was able to like help create that atmosphere, create that deal.
I will pay for Ristic casting a Torgal.
Yeah.
I
And we can see here, now that he has an ironclad deal that he can lock into, now Emo is able to say, I don't have to waste my turn trying to use sorcery speed removal. I can play a 2-mana mana dork that's gonna be able to pump my Sisay, help me get Sisay activations, and still hold up 2 mana. Notably, he still has these 2 lands at the bottom right here. So he's able to do all this now because of the deal. So then the question then comes to mind, why did you help him, TTC? Once again, we have to remember, TTC tapped out with the Lavinia on board. So because this Lavinia is on board, I want to make sure that the cleanest plays are happening. And him not tapping out completely for a Deadpool really helped him be able to hold up these 2 manas with the Ristic Study on board, okay? And on top of all this, notably allows us to lock Mr. Our Jeskai player, Bralin Shabazz, out of doing any activations. Now, they still have the Wild Researcher, by 2 cards were fine. The Ristic Study is still a thing, and the Bralin will be coming back at their turn, but at least we don't have to worry about this discard outlet. No, he says he's not running anymore, but just being in this position is really great for us. And so the real big thing is the specifics, and this last part of the conversation is very important when it comes to understanding specifics when politicking.
If dog is good, I will go to end step.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, yeah, scratch the deal, crazy.
Well, I'm not going to Deadpool's thing now. I'm gonna wait a little bit until I have to discard the city rest.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
No,
That deal
then
was
you're good to go.
contingent. It was contingent on you like using the Deadpool, but Emo, are you saying that you were expecting him to hold that deal for you not to do it?
I mean, if I cast the Deadpool, doing the Minstrel as he's already locked out of doing Adnaz.
Oh, so you're saying the deal was that you don't hit the discard outlet because it's basically another win on board if he draws enough cards, and so the deal is in place. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that was my thought of it.
Oh, okay.
As long as I don't hit the Tireless Tribe, then
can I throw this thing in for next time, Emo?
Yes.
That makes sense what you're saying, because he did accept the deal to not do that, and it makes sense. Next time it may be want to clarify, like, hey, like if I don't, not that if I cast the Deadpool, because that's what it sounded like at first, clarify like, hey, like if I don't target your thing, because then you're not tying yourself to any like this or that type shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, but no, you're good. Go ahead. All right, just to give him a little bit more clarification on what this game TTC meant, is the original deal sounded like, hey, I'm going to cast this Deadpool, but I won't hit your Tireless Tribe if you make this deal. And so part of it was to be able to take care of the Wandering Minstrel, which is about to untap. They have the Elvish Reclaimer, which is going to allow them to tutor and tutor for lands. One, the big one is like that Lotus Field land that you can make 3 black mana. They can do a lot of crazy things. And so what the deal originally sounded like is that he would take care of it and not touch the Tireless Tribe if Crazy made a deal. However, what Emo was originally thinking is, okay, it's not that I'll do this for that. He's saying I won't do this if you do this. You know what I'm saying? I will not touch your Tireless Tribe and take it if you agree to not activate it for 2 turns, and also follow that up with, if you need to activate it for value for whatever other reason, you have to ask me permission for the next 2 turns in order to do this, just so we're in a position where we don't just lose for any shenanigans unknown, but we still have the option to use it if needed. With that being said, though, that's why I said there at the end, like, hey, make sure you really clarify what you're saying in your deal, because there's a universe where he could say, well, you didn't cast the Deadpool, so why would I have made the deal if you weren't going to cast the Deadpool? I would just want to hit the Wandering Minstrel. So it's really important there that Emo really clarifies those in future deals to say, I won't do this. No. I said I won't do this if you do this, because I don't want to lose. I can only cast this at sorcery speed. So those specifics are really, really important. And so with all this said, the 3 main points that I will really touch on is A, don't be afraid to advocate for players who may need additional support with their politics. 2, be specific with your deals and really take the time to make sure that you've clarified exactly what you meant, because it's just the truth. We're limited to using English, you know what I'm saying, or whatever language. We're using speech to communicate everything in our mind to another human being who has their own individual mind. So you want to be as specific as possible while you're making deals. And number 3, move with logic, not with emotion. Starting from jump, Mr. Azzy here did a fantastic job, completely taking the eyes off his wandering minstrel and putting the eyes onto the Tyler's tribe by just spitting out the facts that the Lavinia was shutting off his ad nauseum, and so he is not going to be able to progress ad nauseum. But with that being said, Emo was then able to very smartly progress his board state with this Torgal, a fine hound, that gets him closer to a Sisei win on his following couple turns and not have to spend a whole turn trying to stop a player, okay? And if I were to add on one extra tip from this, number 4, just for fun, would definitely be have fun with it. If you see, I popped the joke about being Emo's lawyer for the rest of the game. He kept saying, talked about lawyer, because a big thing that I say to people when I'm teaching people how to politic within my coaching is I say to people, politic like a coach, not like an adversary. So when you're giving politics, especially when you're advocating for players, come off like, hey, I think this may be in your best interest, but always defer back to them. Do what's best for you. I respect your decision. You know what I'm saying? It is important to do that, because if I were to come off the angle, Emo, what's your problem? You need to make this deal, or you need to do this, trying to controlling and being like an adversary, then he would not be wanting or willing to want as much to help him. But because I came off with the mentality of a coach of saying, hey, remember, don't say that, because if you say that, he can do this. Mainly when he said, don't activate for the win con, it leaves crazy the activate the freedom to say I can activate for any other reasons. I'm like, no, we don't want them to activate that bitch at all. We want that junk to be offline. And WinCon is such a loose thing where we don't know when that is. So giving Emo full control of the Tyler's tribe was the goal, and we were able to solidify that deal because of amazing politics. I will say both for myself, also from Azzy, and also Emo clarifying things at the end and being able to smartly pivot, because he even brings up at the end, once again, I have to say, with the Lavinia, he's not worried about an Adnaz. Wandering Mitchell is known as a turbo Adnaz deck. So being able to really like just get there and like progress his own board state, paying for the risk study, 7 cards in hand, having the 2 mana up, phenomenal space to be in, really being able to solidify his space to make sure he gets to his turn 4, and most likely getting that Sisei down turn 4, turn 5, depending on what his game plan is and depending on what his heuristic draws are. But awesome playtest game. We may have one more political moment from this game that we'll bring up, but for now, like, all I gotta say to y'all know it. If you're looking for more ways to support the show, we have a plethora. Starting off with our TC community, is a free to join Discord community where we do everything like jam games, talk about spoilers, as well as just have an awesome time brewing and just being amazing. But if you say, hey, TTC, I want some more perks, but I want to also support you financially, don't worry. Check the link down in the bio to join the Thunder Legion Patreon community. These guys rocking to keep the lights on in a way that I could not imagine. Truthfully, I just want to say a huge shout out and thank you to the Itza tier patrons, Ziggy and the Praetor, and also the Mono Red tier patrons, Incognito, Wavy Ashira, Bissy Baxton, and B-Rad. These guys get awesome perks like playing on our live streams, free proxy and discount codes, as well as early and exclusive content. But if you say, AT, I don't want the Patreon, the proxies, or the perks. I just want to know, how do you politic so well? Or how do you make your Meta Busters brews? Can you show me how to do it? Don't worry. Check the link out in the bio. I offer one-on-one coaching for all those needs and much more. But with that being said, y'all be great. Peace.